This is a big question, right? You know, why did we go to Afghanistan? What was the mission?
Well, the mission was to stop them from planning, which was a stupid idea. They planned it in Hamburg, Germany. You can plan it anywhere. You don't need to be in Afghanistan. And then they'd show the film on the news of the terrorists on the monkey bars.
That's absolutely right.
And America sent all the money and the troops.
But we got fixed in that tunnel vision, that mindset that bin Laden was in Afghanistan. We've got to go there and we got to stay there until we can say it will never happen again, which of course means we'll be there forever.
Right. And your book really is sort of the modern Pentagon Papers. I mean, it is astounding and sad how similar this played out to Vietnam. It's like we just did this shit, and then we did it again. We forget, one generation just completely forget, which, don't get me wrong, we should teach history in school maybe. Maybe that would help, but what your new Pentagon Papers book really has the same theme, which is that they lied to us. They presented a rosy picture in public for all these years, and behind the scenes, they knew it was unwinnable, and they just weren't telling us. Liars.
Yeah, and this went from the beginning, really. There are memos we obtained from Donald Rumsfeld, who was Bush's defense secretary.
Sure.
And in public, people are asking him, is this going to be another Vietnam, or are we going to get stuck in a quagmire? And Rumsfeld would make fun of journalists who would ask this. Then in private, just 6 months in the war, he sends a memo to his military chiefs saying, if we don't get a plan to stabilize Afghanistan, our troops are going to get stuck there forever. And he ends the memo with one word. It says, help, exclamation point, right? And you see this go on year after year after year. In public, they say things are getting better, we're making progress, we're turning the corner. And yet in private, in diplomatic cables, memos, conferences internally, they're saying things are a mess. And they know that slowly this war is slipping from their grasp, and it's gradually becoming unwinnable.
The one that mystifies me, though, is Obama. Obama ran, and I loved it when he said, I'm not against all wars. I'm against dumb wars. I was like, that's my guy, you know, because I feel the same way. Can't be against all wars. There's evil in the world. Sometimes you got to be a badass. And America has more than not stepped up. But this was a dumb war. And he kind of doubled down on it. I mean, how could a guy that bright think you could do what we were trying to do, surge, take over the country, flood it with money, and that would change things around when really it was just doing the opposite? What's your take on that?
Well, Obama, you have to remember, when he ran for office the first time, he was saying Iraq was the dumb war, right? And we're going to get out of Iraq, no question. And he did eventually pull troops out of Iraq. But he said Afghanistan...
And Afghanistan.
When he first ran, he said Afghanistan was the just war. This was the just cause, that Americans... This was a war of self-defense originally because of September 11th.
But that war was already over for many years by the time he got there. I mean, if it was a just war, certainly after he got bin Laden, what was left to do? I mean, it morphed into nation building. It morphed into this ridiculous idea, as in Vietnam, that we could change hearts and minds when by the things we were doing there, you only lose hearts and minds.
Well, and that's right. And each president said, both Bush, Obama, and Trump all promised the American people and public, we're not nation building in Afghanistan. We're not doing it. Even though at that very moment, that's exactly what we were doing. The United States spent more than $100 billion nation building in Afghanistan. That's more than we spent in Europe on the Marshall Plan after World War II. And now it's all gone up in smoke.